Hey everyone, so I'm Dave Mormon. I'm founder and CEO here at Home Service Business Coach, and we actually just finished off our Marketing for Spring webinar where myself and my team of expert coaches actually created a free training for you to show you exactly how to double your business this springtime and absolutely blow up the marketing department in your business. So the training's full of practical insights that you're definitely not going to want to miss, and also you're going to want to stick around all the way to the end because we have a couple bonuses for you that you can actually plug and play directly into your business. So go ahead and check out the training. And I've brought with me today some very special guests, so our actual very own coaches here at Home Service Business Coach. So most of these webinars, everyone, you get on, there's this like hardcore sales pitch where you have to throw in your credit card and buy. Our stance at Home Service Business Coach is to tell you we have one singular coaching program called Scaling Blueprint. If you want to learn more about that, reach out to us. We'll put some info up in the chat. But other than that, we want to just lead here with 60 minutes of value. So we're not constantly saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. I personally find that a big turnoff in marketing. And we want to just absolutely redefine the home service industry for what's possible with business systems and coaching. And I want to build the absolute best brand so that everyone knows where the value is here at Home Service Business Coach. So want to give you that warm welcome. Hit up the chat. Tell us where your business is based. Put in your IG profile. And I'm going to be emceeing this event along with my fellow coaches. And I'm going to advance here to our agenda and bring up Coach Landon, who's going to tell us kind of what we are in for before we serve up the meat and potatoes here.
Yeah, so everybody, great to have you with us. And the agenda, the one thing I want to mention right off the bat is our bonus, and that's Coach Jackson's 7-figure business marketing guide. You're only going to get access to that at the end when we drop it in the chat. So, there's your incentive for sticking around. Okay. So agenda we're going to cover is the 4 biggest marketing problems that we see as a coaching staff here at Home Service Business Coach. Okay. Second is going to be, there's a lot of questions between organic and paid marketing. We're going to dive into that. Marketing budget, Jackson, Dave, AJ, where do I spend my money to get the most amount of leads? We're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on, it's March. If you already haven't started marketing, I got a news flash for you. You're a little bit behind the curve here. Okay. So let's give you that game plan for marketing for spring. We're going to go over, now that you have all the marketing tools, our goal is to deliver the most amount of value to everybody here. Right. So you have everything you need to market for the spring. So now what the heck do I do? Right. Which means, guys and gals, I'm sorry. We're going to touch on the Scaling Blueprint program. Unashamedly, we've helped 350 people. Look at our reviews. We're going to hit on that. Some of you are new to us. I'm seeing some familiar faces as well too. And then finally, we're going to get into a Q&A. So everybody, if you find value during this, let us know in the chat so we can kind of keep a good cadence. We got a hard cutoff at 1 p.m. So Dave, next slide and let's hit it.
Let's do it. We want to get into our 4 biggest marketing problems. I want to just kick this off, and then we're going to open it up to hear from a few of our coaches, because we want to first define what the problem is in our space, and then we want to actually get into the actual solutions. So Landon, why don't I give you the first one? Why don't you touch on your brand sucks? Yeah. You've talked to now over 2,000 home service business owners. What are you seeing from a branding perspective?
Brand perspective, it sucks. I think I'm at 2,300 home service business owners, from exterior, interior, cleaning, electricians, landscaping, so on and so forth. And the biggest thing I see is I go to look up your websites and I can tell instantaneously you've created it. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. It's like you'll reach out and it's like, Landon, I need help with leads. It's like, okay, it is the first biggest problem we solve here at Home Service Business Coach, even though we're not an ad agency or anything like that. So not to get confused, but I look at your brand and I'm like, okay, there's a huge problem. Your website sucks. Your logo was built by yourself or maybe $50 guy on Fiverr. I'm like, there's no brand cohesion. You don't have maybe your truck wrap. If we look at your flyers, they look like they're 1980s. You're not marketing consistently. It's just, if you think of the biggest brands on this on planet Earth, your Teslas, your Apples, and all that stuff. If I showed you something that looked like an Apple brand, like an Apple commercial, without telling you it's Apple, a billion people would be able to identify, hey, that's an Apple commercial. That looks like an Apple commercial. How many people can identify that for your business? Probably like zero. So
Yeah.
your brand, I don't want to rip on you on y'all, but like your brand needs such an upgrade.
Yeah.
Like it needs such an upgrade, and whether you want to go with getting, hiring somebody to look at that.
Yeah.
You're when we talk about marketing, and we're going to get into this, and then I'm going to shut up after this. I promise, guys. When we talk marketing, it's always, Landon, can you help me get more leads? And it's like 100% we can. We've done it 350 plus times. But everybody wants, like, give me that lead. Maybe this is your hope on the webinar. Give me that lead right now so that tomorrow I can close the job. And that's why your brand sucks. You're so short-sighted. If you want to be around for 3, 5, 10 years, only, Dave, what is it? 10% or 15% or 20% of businesses are 5 years.
Yeah, it's 20%. It's pretty low. So Landon's hit it there, guys. Brand sucks. We're gonna cover that. Jackson, can you touch on number 2? What are you seeing lack of marketing skills in your role? Oh, I think you're just muted there. We'll get you. We want to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you. So some people just simply don't have the marketing skills and the knowledge because they haven't been there before. And so what I see is a lot of the time, maybe when people are busy, they're not actually spending in marketing when is the time when they actually should be, because that's when the fish are biting, so to say. And then when the leads dry up and your demographic isn't interested in your services anymore, people start throwing money into those marketing channels such as Facebook or Google. And then guess what? Those marketing channels eat up all your money because we've missed peak season. And so that's just like one example of how a lot of home service business owners might actually lack the marketing skills, which also, like, if you lack marketing skills and you've gone out there and you have tried to market and spent money and lost money, you're probably pretty scared to go market again. Right. And then what leads into are a ton of business owners out there. And you'll probably see it online or on Facebook. Hey, like, I'm booked out for, 2 months and I don't do any marketing. And you're like, well, that's great. Do you work? Like, you're probably working by yourself, and you could probably have a much bigger business if you actually knew how to utilize proper marketing skills and channels to grow. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people just don't have that. And so that's one thing that I love working with people on, is like building those marketing skills and knowing what levers to pull, what dials to turn at the right time of year to make sure that you're always like producing the maximum amount of leads.
Well said. You've done this a time or two, man. Very well spoken. Guys, put in the chat, because here's what I see. You don't have the marketing chops yet, and therefore you go and get sold by a marketing agency. I literally want to see in the chat the 4-letter word burn, BURN, if you've been burned in the last 4 years by a marketing agency. Let's just take a moment of silence for all those entrepreneurs that have had that. I'm going to look at this. A lot of people been burned. So we're going to freaking tell you guys on this webinar how to learn marketing yourself, because I look at my role in home services for 16 years. Am I the best window cleaner? Not really. Am I good at hiring? I'm pretty good at hiring. I'm really good at marketing. It's something that I love. And we've identified as coaches, this is the pain point in the industry in 2025. Owners do not know how to get high quality leads. So we're going to show you on today's webinar how to do that. I do want to I'll hit the underspending on marketing. Okay. Traditionally, what we've seen is companies will grow very nicely organically, as I've done with my very own business. You could spend 2-3% of your overall revenue on marketing and be okay. We're not really seeing that anymore right now. For the companies that actually want to grow and ascend, we need to be at a minimum 5% of revenue back into grow your business. Those that want more aggressive spend will actually be closer to 10%. So we're going to do a real live example on this webinar where Coach Jackson's going to actually show us how to springboard a company and double their revenue with an investment in marketing. So stay tuned for that. And lastly, lead quality. Any of the coaches want to jump in and tell us what they're seeing presently by way of lead quality when it comes to home service businesses marketing?
Absolutely. I would love to. So yeah, another one of the big issues here, right? We've labeled it as number 4. Some of us just, when we put out ads, we get poor lead quality. And the biggest real life example I could point to, and a lot of you guys might laugh when I say this because you've been here before, marketing on Facebook, right? Putting out performance ads on Facebook with the goal of converting clients, and you get a bunch of people kicking tires, right? When it comes down to it, it's either too expensive for them, or they just never even get back to you. And you're like, man, I just spent, $30 on that lead and they just ghosted me. Well, guess what? It's because you are not using your marketing to seek out your avatar clientele, right? A lot of us don't do that. So number 1, we need to understand who our avatar clientele is, why they want to work with our business, and now how do we reach them with a cohesive message that aligns with their needs and our brand. That's so important, right? If you put out an ad, let's say you want to be a premium priced business, you're like, hey, we're the best, you got a lot of reviews, we got nice trucks, etc. And then you're putting out an ad on Facebook. It's like save 35%. Well, now your words are telling me that you're this premium brand, but your actions in putting out this ad are telling me that you're actually a discount brand. And so with that, you're not actually, you don't have a cohesive brand, and you're going to get a mixed bag of different types of leads, and none of them are going to be your avatar clientele because you haven't glued together what you've needed to.
Totally. Well said. Guys, I want to hear if we missed anything from Coach AJ. And AJ, maybe even want to touch on your new content strategy, not to give any cats out of the bag, man, but you've been crushing it with some organic content. If you want to maybe touch that or something we've missed, and then we're going to start serving it up for you guys.
Yeah, and I wanted to add one thing onto lead quality too, by the way, is like something that I found out is that like you got to do a little bit of testing to kind of see where your lead quality is coming from. Because like I've been burned by some of the more well-known lead generators out there, and then I have clients who do fantastic at it. One thing that comes to mind is Angie's List, right? Like I've had a terrible experience in that. There's guys who killed it with Angie's List, and it can be area dependent. So kind of like what Jackson's saying, yeah, throw a couple things out there. Don't throw crazy discounts out there to devalue yourself, but also test the waters a little bit, and you may get really good leads from one spot and not the other, but they'll be kind of pertinent to your area, right? So I was definitely one of those guys who tried something once and said, that's awful, it doesn't work, I'll never do it again. And I might not have done it the right way. I feel like we do a good job of helping folks know how to put their ads together. But for me right now, kind of like to piggyback again on what Jackson said, like we're using Facebook right now much more for brand awareness and advertising like our team and our core values and why we do a little better of a job than the average, maybe Chuck in the Truck or maybe even other good reputable pressure washing companies in the area. Like what makes us different? I'm not looking for leads from those. I'm looking to really generate like a general knowledge of who our company is and what we stand for in the area. And we've been having a really good time with that. And to Dave's point, we have upped our marketing spend because we have aggressive goals. And I think it's very easy to book yourself out off referrals only if your goal is to keep yourself busy and maybe a helper. But if you're looking to scale and grow and like really create a company with a little bit of freedom, this marketing is like it's the nail on the head. You know what I mean? It's what you need to do to get to that next tier. And I noticed a big difference in my personal freedom when I put money into marketing the correct way, built out enough leads where I can keep some guys busy, and I can kind of be a little more removed to look at vision and stuff in the future.
Totally. And it helps when AJ can hit a golf ball almost 270 yards. We shared that video on my Facebook. It went crazy from Summit. So two other things I want to just share, guys, so everyone knows. I just want to give so much value today. You guys are like, holy crap, how is this free? Only 3% of your marketplace right now is actually ready to say, take my credit card, let me hire you for painting my house or cleaning the windows. So your marketing should be very top of funnel-esque for the 97%. Just constantly programming who you are and what you do. Constantly doing that is just very, very important. And the other thing, the skill that we teach a lot of entrepreneurs we work with, I call it passionately promoting your business, okay? You can't lay awake at night and really wonder what people think about you or this or that. You need to be more sold out on self-promoting your own business and hitting your goals than worrying what anybody thinks. So let's get into it here. I want to kick us off talking about organic versus paid. And Jackson and I are going to kind of riff on this back and forth for the next 7-ish minutes or so. So, it's pretty easy for everyone to get your business to about 200 to 300 grand in revenue we've seen with the organic marketing strategies. Okay. The average company that comes to work with us with revenue is doing about $190,000 in revenue. A lot of times we see them missing really basic organic marketing strategies. And I'm going to get into the nitty gritty in about 2 minutes. Okay. So organic's nice because it's cost effective. It really builds more credibility and trust versus just someone seeing, oh, here's a random Facebook ad as I'm brushing my teeth. I'll reach out for a quote. Maybe it's $99. You guys have all got those kind of leads versus someone, hey, AJ, I've been following all seasons on Instagram for the last 9 months. I'm ready to get my windows done. It's a different kind of buyer that's been heavily nurtured around your brand. You'll generally see higher conversion rates. Organic we like because it's more sustainable year round. It's less eyeballs in the market, willing to pay just to hire you, when you get busy. But organic does require consistency. Okay. A lot of the companies we're working with are actually investing in digital recording devices to get audio and visual and start building out not just their company brand, but their actual personal brand as well is quite important. So if you're on the webinar right now, or you're catching the recording, you're below 300K, I would really dial in organic, which I'm going to talk about in a couple minutes to dial that in before you kind of ascend up to paid. But I want to give the mic to Jackson. Jackson, tell us the companies you work with, why paid is a good alternative for a lot of companies today. I think we got you muted again, brother. We're missing the gold.
Nice. It's a lot this week that I've been on mute. Okay. So in terms of paid is a great supplement when you're already doing organic marketing. Okay. I want to say that one more time for the people in the back. It's a great supplement for organic marketing. If you go out there and just try to do paid ads and no one knows who you are, you're not going to get great results from them. I will say that. And so you do hear some people try to start their company and they just say, hey, I don't want to go door knock. I don't want to go network. I don't want to do neighborhood marketing. I don't want to put my boots on the ground. I've heard that you can just get leads through Facebook, through Angie's, through Google, whatever it may be. And they throw all this money at these algorithms and these paid channels. And guess what? They don't get good returns because no one knows who you are. And the only way to get people to know who you are in a cost-effective way is to market organically. So once you have done that, let's say you have marketed organically, you've gotten to that 250, 300K mark and people know who you are. Now, when you start investing into those paid algorithms, you're going to start seeing better returns because people already know, like, and trust you, and they recognize the name. So again, if you're just starting out, I want you to go full organic for as long as you can. And once you hit that 250, 300 mark, now let's start investing some money into paid advertising. And don't get me wrong. I want you to put money into paid advertising as soon as you can, because it is it's in your best interest to start putting money, especially towards Google, towards that algorithm, to build trust with it, and to start gaining traction in those the three main Google algorithms. But I don't want you to overspend. And it needs to be in correlation with how much organic marketing you've done, right? So the more people that know you in your area, you can now raise your budget in paid ads. And then you do more organic marketing and more people get to know who you are. And then your paid ads can go up as well. And then your whole business goes up together.
Yeah. So well said. I know we got a lot of golfers on the call. I'll sum up what Jackson said with an analogy because I love stories. Organic, guys, is teeing off from the white tees. Okay. Doing paid, you're teeing off from the blue or the black tees. Okay. So don't think you're swinging a big club out of the tee box. First, build organic, get comfortable. Then you can scoot back on the black tees and play with Jackson. All right, let's get in. I want to hear in the chat. Let's get the chat buzzing. Landon, I'm going to give you the job in about 35, 40 minutes to pick out. I want to hit 2 questions for Q&A, guys. So if you want to get your marketing question answered, just type it out in the chat, and we should have some time at the end, so long as I'm going to keep this on schedule. Everyone's got my word. Okay. Let's get into organic marketing. This would be a screenshotter or a take a picture or watch the recording. Again, everyone, we want to give you stuff that's not just readily available on YouTube. I love coaching, practical, pictures worth 1,000 words. These are 4 excellent market examples on brand from Revive, the company that I founded 8 years ago. And I want to start with a door hanger. Okay. So if you're not actively delivering door hangers around your job site, I personally think you are missing a huge opportunity. We require our teams to deliver 5 to 10, we call them a 5 round or a 10 around, to neighbors around the job site where you're working. These have converted excellently for us over the last 8 years. Sometimes we think we'll do a job and then we'll jump into the digital universe and try get more leads. A lot of times the next leads are just left, right, behind you, up the street, the other side, right in front of you. There's this famous quote in marketing, even in the world, guys: birds of a feather flock together. People will hire you because they see you. And that's what building a really firm organic base has done. I've done it with Revive. All these coaches have done it with their own business as well. And here's the beautiful thing, everyone. When you kick ass with organic marketing, paid ads, when you're ready to turn on, they just become more effective. You get more squeeze out of that orange when you're going into paid ads. Okay. Number 2, if you're on this webinar and you are not investing $300 into what we call an A-frame sign, sign off this call right now. Go on Vistaprint. They're $300. It's called a Signacade sign. You order these inserts, you put a nice QR code, and let me tell you, whatever revenue size you have, get a graphic designer in your back pocket, okay? We have an in-house graphic designer, home service business coach, that our clients actually get to work directly with to build out a lot of their marketing materials. That's why you see this and you're like, holy smokes, this looks really professional. That's what Landon means when he's going. Landon could do an hour webinar on brands sucking or brands being good. This is just how important this is, okay? Number 3, truck wrap. You got to set the 3, the 4. Some wraps are now $5,000, right? As costs go up in our present day, you got to wrap your truck. This is pound for pound the best type of marketing for what's called impressions, which is just measured on how much do we have to spend to get 1,000 sets of eyeballs on your brand. Vehicle wraps are going to be the best. Okay. So you want to have this as your mobile billboard. Here's the beautiful thing. If you set your ego aside, you actually don't need to have a shop to get your first $500,000 in the door. This is literally your mobile shop right here that you're driving to and from customers' property. If friends and family and neighbors are not texting you, the owner, saying, I see your freaking truck everywhere, then you've not branded your vehicles well enough. And before I hit the last point, I'll just take a breath and say, if you learn how to market your home service business, you will absolutely destroy competitors in the area, because 97% of our marketplace has their head so far up their ass when it comes to marketing that if you learn these skills, you're going to run laps around the competition. And that's what we want to teach you today in our session. And on that note, throw a 1 in the chat if you're like, holy crap, this information is insane. You guys did a great job. Thank you for making this free. Our coaches thrive on interaction and getting people active. So if you're in Jackson's session in Vancouver, he'd make you jump up and down and do jumping jacks. I'm making you do a 1 in the chat if you're finding value. Lastly, guys,
I'm gonna
go ahead, Lennon.
If you don't mind, if I hit on this really quickly, like the big, again, touching on brand and marketing and stuff like that, a lot of you individuals don't have a lot of Google reviews on your GMB, your Google My Business, you know, what reviews, that little box there, right? Some of you don't even know that. Some of you don't even have it set it up that I talk to. Blows my mind. I'm like, what are we even doing? This is 2025. You need a GMB. Maybe like Jackson, Dave, do you want to touch on like the importance of like, yes, reviews, but overall being active on your GMB? Because a lot of people hear that buzzword of like, oh, SEO. I need to pay somebody $1,000 to increase my SEO, and then that'll solve my lead problem.
Yeah.
Can you kind of touch on that when it comes to brand and GMB?
100%. I'm going to let Jackson riff on that first. He's got us beat by a couple hundred reviews. So I want to hear from Jackson, then I'm going to clean it up, and then Jackson's going to rip on paid. So take it away, coach.
Yeah, cool. If you guys want, open up another web browser and just search window cleaning Bellingham, Washington, and you should see Mount Baker window cleaning pop up there. And the fact that we have so many more reviews than our competition, it's an obvious choice for people to come at least give us a phone call and get a quote. Maybe they not everyone that sees that isn't going to be our like avatar client, but we're definitely reaching them and we're getting as much quotes out the door as possible because we're just crushing our competition. And then on top of that, what a lot of people don't seem to realize is a GMB with 700 reviews, and in your area, your whole competition is 200 or 300. My company is now a much more sellable asset with that GMB, and I'm going to get a lot more money down the road when it comes time to sell the business. And also on top of that, you're building trust with potential clients. It's social proof that you do a great job. And then check this out. And I didn't even realize this until, we started to hear it probably about a year or two ago. I had employees coming in for interviews and they said, "Hey, I looked at the amount of reviews you have. I've never seen a business like that." So guess what? We get the best employees because rockstar employees want to work for a business that has done a very good job. Okay. Mitch Wood is a GMB with a 5, really a bad thing? Dude, I don't think so. I mean, we just have done a really good job. And then we have excellent customer service. So we don't really get many people complaining against us because we just go to bat for our clients. So that's what I got to say about Google reviews. If you're not doing your best possible job to get them, then you're messing up.
Yeah, you're messing up. And guys, in our role, like one of my core values in my personal life is keep things simple. And I think there's so many things you could do that myself and our coaching team, we look for the easiest lifts that we could get a double or triple in your business. I don't know if you guys listen to Alex Hormozi. He's doing these new series where he coaches one-on-one these people and they film it. He looks for easy lifts, right? Doubles and triples. This is one our coaching teams identified, like setting up a really solid process around getting reviews coming in. But I want to go one step further, right? You like we pay our technicians to get reviews and we build a whole culture around it, and that's great. But you want to make sure you're taking the time to respond to these reviews too. And there's a number of AI tools now you can even use that will actually talk back to those reviews as if it's the customer voice. You could also, what I do is traditionally had an office admin handle it, but that works great as well. You want to be posting pictures on your GMB because that's going to geotag and say, "Hey, in Bellingham, Washington, we're right here at this coffee shop cleaning windows." All Google wants to do, all search wants to do is bring relevance to the searchers. So if you go in and search for your thing, you want to get your company bumping up. And Jackson's exactly right. A buyer comes in your market one day, loves your business, loves your people, loves your brand, loves your systems. Oh, by the way, I have 740 reviews in my back pocket. That's worth a lot of value to someone coming in. So there's just no way you're going to lose with the reviews. Jackson's got one more I can see.
Yeah, I got one more thing actually, just to give you guys as much value as possible. We started working with a new vendor today, so nothing's implemented yet, but we found this company called RealWorks, and what they do is they have a geotagging system for your reviews. So it connects to your Jobber account, and then you can post the photos and the description with the services, and it sends that request for a review to a client. So when they fill it out, it comes back to your website. There's a widget on your website with a map, with their house on it, with a photo, with their review. So what that does is it builds trust with Google. It boosts your SEO rankings in all the areas that you service for all of your services. And then you have this widget so you can carry around an iPad when you go to do in-person estimates and go, "Hey, we cleaned Jesse's house down the street. This is a before and after photo and his review." It's an incredible tool. So I'm looking forward to utilizing that this year.
Yeah, it's next level. And guys, Jackson touched on it. It's a win for you in your marketing department, but also we'll do future trainings on building out your people department. It really sets your brand as just different. And like, wow, this isn't a rinky dink Jackson's little toe behind window cleaning business. This is like an enterprise. This is an empire. And the reviews really speak to that. So we can riff on it more if we have time, but I do want to keep the train moving on time for everyone. I do want to transition and give the mic to Coach Jackson. He's going to talk to us about paid marketing. And this is going to go a little deeper with our bonus, our giveaway. We're going to give away in about 25 minutes. But Jackson, what do you got for paid marketing these guys need to know?
All right, so paid marketing. We've gotten our business to 250 or 300K a year, and it's time to pour some fuel on the fire. So what do we do? One thing that I really love is SEO. And when I talk about SEO, I'm also grouping GMB optimization in there. Now, SEO is a sketchy line of business. Okay. I think we can all agree that we like probably talking to SEO vendors is like our least favorite thing to do. They're always bad mouthing the other person or your last SEO provider. So it's tough to know. I've experimented with a few different vendors. I'm trying some new ones this year. But the bottom line is, if you're not investing into SEO, you're gonna find that it's very hard to like rapidly grow your business. If you're just doing organic marketing and you keep like a low budget in marketing, yeah, you can steadily and slowly grow your business. That's fine. But if we're looking to really like aggressively grow, like I think in 2022 we went from 425,000 a year to 915 or 925. That was with the help of SEO and definitely Google, PPC and LSA. But SEO is so important. And so when I say SEO, I'm referring to your organic listing and also like where your GMB is popping up in the map pack. That's what I'm bulking into SEO. And it's so important. When you guys look at how consumers are shopping these days, not a whole lot of people are actually even making it to the organic section anymore before they're calling folks. And so that's why your reviews matter so much, because you get 3 slots in that GMB map pack. And if you're not in the top 3, you're probably not getting a phone call. So that's why SEO is really, really important if you want to pour some fuel on the fire and you've already done a good job at organic marketing. So Facebook ads, let's chat about this. I want to be quick on this. I am not a huge fan of Facebook ads, but I still do use them for one purpose, and that is for brand awareness. I do not try to convert clients on Facebook ads. It's interrupting them in their day. They have no real high intent. What you're doing is you're just interrupting someone's flow when they're scrolling through their phone and you're saying, hey, you should get your windows cleaned or your carpets cleaned or your lawn done. And they go, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. So they fill out the form, and then guess what? They go back to scrolling the algorithm. And if you haven't contacted them in about 60 seconds, they've completely forgotten about you. So you're just wasting money on leads when you're trying to convert on Facebook. So what we do is we really invest into our SEO, into our Google PPC, into our LSA, and then we use Facebook to raise top of funnel awareness. So when it does come time and that person that was scrolling on their phone does actually need their windows cleaned, they look up window cleaning on Google. Now we're popping up, and they remember us because they saw us on Facebook through a brand awareness campaign. And so the best things that we like to do on Facebook are highlight our employees, highlight some of the jobs that we've done, maybe give some value to people, right? Show us doing events in the community. Like, that is very effective brand awareness. It's not like, hey, we're the best window cleaning company, get this discount, get on our schedule. It's no. It's like, you want to see us being a part of the community, engaging in the community. You want to know who we are. You want to feel like you get to know our technicians and the owner through those like brand awareness campaigns. And then lastly, you've got PPC, which is like the most powerful tool in growing Mount Baker window cleaning at the moment. So a lot of people get scared with PPC because they're like, holy crap, I'm paying $40 a lead or $50 a lead. And the truth is, yeah, like that's a lot of money, but there's a way that you can afford that as a business through what you do after getting that lead. It's through pricing, it's through re-engagement, it's through good sales. A lot of people out there would be surprised that you can actually become a company that can afford to advertise on PPC. And what's great about this is most of your competitors will never go there. Or if they do, they're losing money on it because they don't understand what needs to happen on the other side of your company to make it work and to make it affordable. So while your competition is scared to go on PPC or they're just losing money, you can figure that out and just crush it and get a high volume of leads. I think last year we spent around 25,000 on PPC and received close to 500 leads through it. So massive volume, more than LSA. It was a higher cost, but so many freaking leads. And we're just happy to keep manipulating that budget to get, to grow our business year after year.
It's incredible. Guys, you can see you got to kind of be like a scientist in your marketing department. You got to first build that organic. Like, you don't need, in my opinion, a ton of brain power. You just need to start taking action. But I really, what Jackson hit on is definitely higher level, kind of phase 2 of that pyramid. Once organic styled, you got to be a smart, savvy marketer. And even if you work with an agency, right? We've worked with a number of SEO companies over the years. You got to watch out who you hire. Same with Facebook, same with Google. And I can't stress enough, upping your education on something like this. Jackson's going to get an example in just a minute here. Really important, as the owner, what dials to turn and what rough ROI you should actually be seeing, because there's a lot of smoke screens in marketing. And the only way to call out BS is to actually generally know what you're looking for as a business owner. Super, super important. Landon's got one. And guys, a reminder too, put your questions into the chat. Landon's going to pick 2 if he hasn't already. But Landon, what you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, languaging as well too, right? Because a lot of people put their before and after photos, and this goes for like a content and ad, anything like that. I look up some, social media pages you guys have, and it's just like all before and afters. And I was like, cool, are we still in 2019 or 2022? Like, we need to start to evolve and upgrade, right? Like, again, maybe this is a brand point as well, but it's like, individuals do business with others they know, they like, they trust. And if you put it a before and after photo and you're running an ad to that, like, okay, cool, I can probably go do that myself. So, like, really honing in, I know we haven't touched on this, but really honing in on your ideal avatar. Not everybody, keynote, but ideal avatar's language that you've heard when you're doing in-person quotes of like the pain points they have. You can take that knowledge, put it into the ad. Your ad will perform much better than just, hey, we do house washing in your area. Here's our before and after. Like, it's just so robotic. So I just wanted to touch on that point before we move on.
And guys, you'll see if I go back a slide too, like Revive, Mount Baker, All Seasons, like they're very authentic brand pictures as well, right? And I don't want a marketing webinar to go by without pushing everyone, go and invest in a local photographer, okay? Having brand photos, showing off your team, even if it's just you, the owner, that would be one really easy lift in the organic marketing department, because your paid ads will run a lot better when you've got really nice smiling technicians in uniform, as Jackson's got, as all of our coaches have. So to Landon's point, the languaging paired with some really authentic non-stock photos, you'll run circles around your competition. All right, let's get into an actual marketing budget. I want to hear Jackson kind of go off on this. Everyone might be wondering, well, coaches, I want to do my business, grow my business. How much actually goes into a marketing budget? Jackson, do you mind hitting on this kind of different levers that you see?
Not at all. Okay, so we would define a low budget as somewhere between 3 and 5%. And this could be someone who's just very comfortable with where they're at. And they're just doing a little bit of organic, maybe like a little bit of paid too, but not really trying to push the needle in their business. It's not really going to be effective. And I'm guessing if you're on this call, you probably want to grow your business. So you're probably not going to end up in that category of 3 to 5%. If you do find yourself in that category, that's awesome. You're probably making some really good profit, but you're not growing your business. And that's not doing you any good. So the next, sort of category here would be medium, and that would be around 6 to 10%. And this is where most people should be ending up, is around 6 to 10%. And in 6 to 10%, if your marketing budget is deployed properly, you will have some pretty steady growth, right? But if you're doing 6 to 10%, but you're letting the marketing agency just take all your cash, and you're like poorly advertising on Facebook, and you don't have the marketing skills, and you're marketing at the wrong time and the wrong channels, you might not grow at all. Like, you could spend 6 to 10% on marketing, and if it's not deployed properly, nothing's gonna happen. Which I see a lot. And actually, I've even seen people at 10 to 15 to 25%, but it wasn't allocated in the proper channels at the right times with the right message to the right demographics. And again, it was just a terrible thing to see, right? Yep. Wasting so much hard-earned money into marketing. It's a terrible thing to witness. So 6 to 10% deployed properly, you're good. You're great. You're growing steadily. The company's healthy. You're making profit. Great. 10 to 15% deployed properly, it's going to be, and don't get me wrong, like 10 to 15% deployed properly is hard to do. 6 to 10% deployed properly is a lot easier, but once you start increasing the budget that much, now we got to be pretty careful with how we're spending that extra 5%, right? Every time we go over 10, like, all right, we want to make sure this is going to be very effective.
Yeah.
But that's going to be reserved for a company that's trying to have rapid growth. Rapid growth. Now, at 6 to 10%, in my business, we were able to double revenue, right? I think the year we went from 425 to 925, we were at around 9 to 10% in ad spend. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but somewhere in there. So is it necessary to go 10 to 15%? Not really. I would rather see you guys land in that 6 to 10 zone, that sweet spot, and deploy it properly and grow your business that way.
Love it, man. Devil's advocate, those thinking, great walkthrough, Jackson. Great job, coach. I don't have money to put into my marketing budget. I would love to do 8, 9, 10%. I just don't have the money. How would you coach that person?
Sorry, you're at 8 to, I was reading some comments there.
Yeah, sorry, you're getting distracted. Like for someone coming out of winter right now, man, doesn't have the money, like what would be a quick lift financially that an owner could take that, like, Jackson, there's just no money to actually market my business? Like what?
Man,
what
if there's no money, I'm picking up the phone and calling every single one of my good clients and offering them 10% off to get on the schedule, but I'm taking 50% of that up front.
Boom.
I'm taking a deposit for 50%. I'm loading up the bank account. And with those deposits, now I'm putting money into marketing. I'm ordering door hangers. I'm hitting the ground, boots on the ground, and I'm firing up the marketing engines. We do that every single year still to this day, right? We re-engage our clients early on in February. So for the last month, actually month and a half, we've been collecting deposits for what would that be? 45 days. We've been collecting 50% deposits to book people in. Guess what? Our bank account is loaded, and now I can really pour some fuel on the fire by firing up those Google engines because we have money in the bank from deposits.
Feels pretty good, doesn't it? As a business owner, guys, like this is a key shift. We'll get into it so long as we have time. Most of you on this call, you run a negative cash flow cycle. Oh, Jackson's hiring me to clean his windows. I will go out, or I will take my crew. I will spend time and money until it's done and then collect. There's a much better way to be in the minority and run a positive cash flow cycle, not so normal in a home service business. But I'm telling you, better clients, better cash flow, especially those of you that want to scale. How cool is it? Jackson gets 50% upfront. Revive gets 50% upfront. We get our entire payroll covered before the team's actually on the property. I think that is pretty stinking cool. We're going to go to our next slide. I want to give it to Jackson, but Landon, I just want to make sure I didn't miss you there. I think you had something coming in, and then we'll get Jackson to actually go. We got Barry, who's going to grow his business. I'll let everyone read this while Landon says his point here.
Yeah, I love Barry. Everybody loves Barry. No, like the thing I wanted to say is, like, one of the big things people chime back at us, right, is because, like, we're talking marketing. There's like 1,000 different ways we help you grow your business, right? And we got, individuals in here that are with us that are literally coaching clients, right? One of, like, the quickest, like, catch-22s that we do is, like, look at your conversion rate. Everybody likes to claim, oh, I'm closing at like 60+%. I'm a sales guy. And I'm like, no, that's horrible. I would check your guys' self, because it's like, I need leads, so I charge, I underbid myself, but then I close like 80%. Then I'm like all boosted up. Then I'm closing 80%. And my advice to you would be like, I want that 50 to 40%. And you're going to be like, what? I'm like, yeah, you're charging too little. There's no reason. There's no wonder like you have cash flow problems. And then right to Jackson's point, deposits. You're not collecting deposits. Again, a limiting belief. So if you could take nothing from this marketing webinar, if you raise your prices a bit and started asking deposits, which again, the vast majority of you aren't doing and won't do. Let's be honest. You need some accountability. Entrepreneurship's lonely. You guys would kill it in 2025. So just wanted to shut up. That's it.
No, man,
you get your ROI on the program. Just saying.
We'll give you your mic. I'll give you your mic in 2 minutes. We want to hear about that. Guys, just to kind of hit pause for 1 second, we got about 15 minutes. We're going to hit this real live example. I want to hear from Landon. He's got a solution he's going to tell us all about. And then we're going to close into Q&A. And Coach Jackson's been busy prepping an absolutely banger bonus. I'm going to let him announce it as we get to it, but that's just the sequence, just so we all know what's coming. So Jackson, tell us how we're going to help Barry 2X his business this year. What's he going to do?
All right, Barry has made it to that point to 250K. He probably had a truck with 2 crew members on it booked out for most of the year. We're ready to take it to 500,000, get another truck, another 2 crew members. Barry has killed it in the organic space. He put out his yard signs. He put out his A-frame signs. He did his 5 rounds. He networked. He joined a BNI group. He got referrals on Facebook. He got the truck wrapped. Man, there's a lot. Organic marketing is very complex. And that's why a lot of people avoid it, because it's a lot of sweat equity to do it right. But man, is it effective. So Barry crushed it at that. Good job, Barry. You are an organic marketing warrior, and we love you for that, Barry. So now what does he do? Okay. Now we're going to throw some fuel on the fire. Okay. The time has come for Barry to graduate from organic marketing warrior into a paid marketing apprentice. And so we're going to start deploying some money into Google. Okay. We're going to start investing into those 3 algorithms of your GMB, your LSA, and your PPC, and organic can get thrown in there as well, organic listings. And so we're going to do a pretty even split. And you're going to see in the 7-figure marketing plan that I'm giving you all as a bonus, that's pretty much what I'm doing as well. I'm around a 50-50 split. So I'm never going to stop doing organic marketing because of A, how effective it is in driving leads, but B, because it keeps my cost of paid ads down and makes paid more effective. The more I put into organic marketing, the more effective my paid ads become, because people know who I am. They're more likely to click on me, which means that if I'm bidding for clicks, we're actually going to spend less to get the same amount of clicks, which is it's a weird thing to say, but that's how Google works, right? If you are really known and trusted in the demographic that you are boosting your PPC ads in, and everyone knows you, they're searching for you, they're clicking on you, you're going to pay less per click to your competitors. And that's why I will always do organic. So yeah, we're doing a 50-50 split. We're still hitting the ground with boots on it. 50% organic, 50% paid.
Love it, brother. Couldn't have said it better myself. AJ, I want to give you the mic just for 1 minute, man. You literally started at HSBC. You were one of our first clients. You came in doing 100K. You blew up your business, man, with some coaching over a few seasons. Is there anything strategically marketing wise that we've missed? You're like, guys, I gotta add in a +1 for this channel, or something you just want to share before we move to our next slide?
Well, I would say one thing that we didn't touch on specifically, but obviously it's part of the organic, is strategic partnerships. You know, that's probably one of the biggest dividend out paying facets to organic marketing that I've been able to do. And that's just, you know, you got a couple companies in your area that probably are very similar to you. They have good core values. Maybe they have a couple guys. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're just one guy in the truck trying to make it, whatever. But maybe you vibe really well with them. You know, that person may have 1,500, 2,000 clients that actually are your avatar, right? Like maybe they have a similar charge rate. Like a tile cleaning company may have the same average job size as you, roughly. Those clients are probably going to be very transferable, and kind of onto Jackson's point, being famous in your area with brand awareness can also be with contractors in your area. And man, you make a couple really good partnerships with gutter companies, roof companies, paint companies. Those guys can feed you a tremendous amount of money every month, and it's month after month. And the guys who I do that with in my area, we've just became great friends, and we feed each other business. We don't pay each other for that work. We don't take a little off the top. It's just like, I know my client is in good hands with them, and vice versa. And it's turned into a lot of closed business. We didn't have to go to a BNI for that, though. You know, that's something you can do organically and doesn't cost anything. So, I mean, a lot of value already out there, but that's just one little part that I feel made a really big impact early on when I didn't have a huge marketing budget. A phone call, a Facebook message, that stuff's free, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you made your own BNI group. I think you even called it like local legends. It's like, we're not going to transfer money. We're just going to all hook each other up. And I think that's super cool to look who's doing what you're doing in your area, albeit with a different service. Why don't we go get friendly with them? It's like, is the easiest lifts, guys, to get a double or triple this year. That's why we want to just keep it really honest. And it's one thing why I started HSBC. It's created by people doing the very thing that we're teaching. This isn't pulled out of my business degree of like, I think this works. These are like the dudes that are doing it and have done it. That's who you're learning from right here. So we've got 10 minutes left, everyone. I want to see a 1 in the chat if you've got great value from this so far. Let's get the chat blowing up. I want to see a bunch of 1s because our team's going to sit down after this and see, are we going to do another one? Did people like this? Was it kind of Bree might even put a survey into the chat as well so we can get feedback from everyone before we wrap up. But I'm going to move the dials. We're going to do literally 5 minutes. I'm going to set a stopwatch here on our sales guy because he's going to sell everyone into our program. We want to hear from Landon. 5 minutes with that. And then we're going to close 5 minutes with Coach Jackson with just your bonus. And also we're going to hit those 2 questions as promised. So Landon, tell us, oh, you know what? We got one more slide I got to hit on too. And then it's going to go to Landon. I got out of order here. So I'll just touch on this briefly, everyone. In an effort of leading with value, swipe, take a picture of that QR code right there on the screen. This is literally your already written email templates for this spring season, which is great. So I just wanted to keep things practical. This is a really good email marketing campaign. You can scan it, and our team will even put it up in the chat so that you don't have to go on ChatGPT or play around with stuff. We've already pre-written it for you. You can go and check in there. And then Jackson already graciously touched on deposits. So we are all good there. So let me see if I've got my slides in order. So Landon, tell us what is next here for everyone on the webinar. We got 5 minutes to hit on what the heck you've got planned.
Yeah, absolutely, guys and gals. The thing I always ask, individuals, like, we don't work with everybody and we got to like each other and be 100% confident we can help in your business, right? Like, this is just, it's freaking non-negotiables. If you're in the coaching program in HSBC, type 1 in the chat if that's true or not. Like, I'm going to get fact checked right now to see, right? Okay. So it's like, if we helped with the marketing, right? I always like to say this, like, we help with your marketing. It's like, could you do an extra $150,000 worth of work in the springtime or $300,000 worth of work in the springtime? The question becomes, well, Landon, I couldn't. Well, it's like, why couldn't you? Well, I don't have the systems. I don't have the processes. I don't have the people. I don't have the structure. I don't have the equipment in order to get it done. So then it's like, okay, then the marketing issue becomes a hiring issue. And some people, I'm going to call you out, try and solve that through automatic robots or, cleaning robots or AI and stuff like that. You're in a freaking home service space. Like, you're an individual going to an individual's home. AI and all that fancy stuff, it ain't that good yet. And people still want to talk to people. So like, even if like that's your thought, not really going to work. If we could jump to the next slide, that's where I want to get into. Mike, good to see you, man. First call with Jackson next week. Friggin' rights, right? Mike and Michael were absolute beauties, right? Again, we only work with people we are 100% confident we can help, and we like each other, which, we got to pass through that. Solution to that is Skilling Blueprint. If we go through here, the 3 biggest problems we solve is lead generation, hiring A+ employees the first time, and number 3 is business management. I would encourage, maybe somebody can put in the chat our Google reviews. What are people saying about us that have worked with us, right? We are the highest rated coaching company in the home service space. There's a reason for that, okay? And put a 1 in the chat if everybody that has worked with us is can attest to that, right? Because I have some fact checkers. I haven't asked anybody to come on here. I could get called out hard right now by saying that, okay? Anyways, let's go over this quickly, right? So if you've ever had the thoughts of like, you're sitting at, it's like you're with your family, but you're not really there. Like you're thinking about work and what needs to get done and the stresses of the cash flow. You're on a marketing webinar at 1 or 3, almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. You're stressing about this stuff. Or like that, that nagging turmoil in your chest, right? They're just like won't leave you. And it's like, despite everything that you're currently doing, you're comparing yourself to others because it's like, hey, they haven't figured out. These guys at HSBC, they seem like they have it all figured out, whatever that is. Or like, you get that bad news by an employee not showing up or the client canceling or like you're slow right now and then you start freaking out. How do I hire my first person? How do I keep them on for the seasonality? What do I do when I get slow? Like all these different thoughts. This is who the program's for. Okay. And we're going to touch on this really quickly. So there's a couple big components. Programs 12 months. We need roughly 2 to 4 hours of your time per week. Again, what you put in is directly what you're going to get out of this. We've done this 350 plus times. Clients that are with us, they see the value and they're like, wow, okay, this is insane. We did a poll inside of our school community. We're seeing about 42% of individuals getting their ROI back within the first 30 days, 84% in the first 90 days. Now, what are we going? We've got 100 plus videos, modules. Again, if you're in the program, put in the chat how valuable they are. Think about this. You scale faster, you hire smarter, and you break free from daily operations that much faster. 2 is our plug and play systems, right? Think about this. You shift from working in the business to working on the business. They're battle tested templates, streamline your hiring, sales, marketing, you name it. 3, done for you playbooks. Okay. This has been a huge addition we've made. I'm going to wrap up here pretty soon. I'm going to shut up. So bear with me here. 6, done for you templates. We need your logo. We need your brand color. Your brand logos, different stuff like that. We're going to build out your marketing, sales, hiring, operations, office, and CEO strategies and playbooks directly for you. You get tailored one-to-one coaching with us. That question of like entrepreneurship is lonely, and I'm rushing and I don't mean to, but entrepreneurship is lonely. Nobody can relate to my situation. Join it, get real-time support. We got weekly, we got a couple weekly coaching calls per week. We have an extremely high level because we're an invite-only program. Community access through Slack, through school, those things that, individuals that know, right? So you can get around like-minded individuals that are like 1 to 2 steps ahead of you. That can also like become your brotherhood. And we've seen that time and time and time again. Obviously, you get invited. I think Doug mentioned it. Our in-person event at HSBC, you get invited to that. Total value, we like to say, is $28,000 for the initial 12-month program. 10K prepay. That's what we say. So it's incredible value. If you're seeing like if you spent an hour with us, we've touched on 45 minutes of marketing.
Yeah.
What could it do? So I'll wrap it. I'll shut it. If you want more information about the program, type program in the chat. Make sure that your chat says to everyone. Some people are sending me direct messages in the chat. Just type program in the chat. We can find out more and see if we like each other and if we can help you out. That's it for me.
I love it, brother. Thanks for you could go on and on. You're so passionate about this, guys. And I'll just add in one last thing. I've effectively why HSBC started, and we'll get to the bonus and the questions. I saw a real gap in the market that there was a lot of technically minded owners that were really good at cleaning, but didn't have business systems. So you're literally buying 8,000 hours of my brain to build out all systems. Oops, someone's sneezing there. And then we actually build out the systems in your own branding right here with our own in-house team, which is pretty awesome. So if you talk to HSBC members 3 years ago, like Coach Jackson, like Coach AJ, they had to build all their own systems. Our team now does it, and we layer in coaching, and it's just an absolutely irresistible offer. So like Landon said, it's the highest price coaching program for our avatar. It's by design because we only want to work with the top 2% in our industry. And it's just by invite only. So if you want to learn more, hit up program, check us out online and see what you're in for. But I do want to segue here, everyone. Landon, can we hit 2 questions? And then Jackson's going to drop his bonus on us here to wrap up, just to be respectful of everyone's time. We are at the hour. So we're officially in bonus time. So if anyone needs to kick off, thank you so much for coming on. But we are going to go 5 minutes over and just hit a couple questions. So Landon, read out question number 1 that we can hit on.
This is from Corey Danzer. Sorry from mispronouncing your name. 12:25 p.m. His question states, we have always marketed organically, probably not as much as we should, but truck signs, door hangers, yard signs aren't getting the results we were looking for. Lots of leg work for the return. We're starting Google Ads this week. Is there an ROI comparison or cost per lead between the two that you guys see? Split your budget even between the two or a different split. That's what Corey had to say. So whoever wants to touch on that, start ripping.
Jackson,
I
you
guess
want that first or me? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'd want to know what you said some of the channels you're using for organic marketing. What I would want to know is, what does it look like? What is the message? How are you handing them out? Is it you handing them out? Is it your employees handing them out? Do you know that they're getting handed out? And yeah, what's the offer? What's the message on there? Because they should be, if you have a good brand and you're actually handing them out and people are getting eyes on your brand, it should be working. I will say this. A lot of the times when you are marketing organically, it takes a little while to feel the effect from that. For instance, I got a call the other day from someone on my personal number. I started the business 8 years ago, and he called me and said, I was like, who is this? And he said, hey, I met you on a chairlift at the ski hill 7 years ago, and you said you were starting a window cleaning business. Are you still doing that? It's like, yeah. So you're planting seeds when you're doing organic marketing. You can't expect such an immediate return, but you are building brand awareness, and it helps down the road. So if you're not getting it immediately, just like hold tight. If you keep doing it, you will get results. And like that's who gets rewarded, are the people that are patient and they stay consistent with it.
So good, man. I'll hit on that for Corey. I do want some more information, as Jackson said, but generally, if you're going organic route to start, I want to see at least 5 times my money get returned to me. I used to coach on 10. Things have tightened up. 5's usually really good start. So Corey, if you looked at let's call it a $10,000 marketing budget this year, the fact you've come up with organic, I'd probably still keep 2/3 of my mix with that. So about, 6,500 in organic still. I would want to know more exactly what you're doing. And then I would throttle my 3,500 and, I don't want to say roll the dice, but a lot of you sub $1 million, you're still very much in this experimental testy stage for your industry, for your market, to see how much a lead costs. But if I'm a betting man, Corey, I would guess your PPC leads will be more expensive than your organic ones. They may come a little bit quicker. But I would also say, if you're in exterior cleaning and home improvement, April, May, June are great months to throttle up paid ads, because you're naturally going to have more eyes on your brand. And that's one thing, guys, I don't want to miss today. The best time to market is when actually you're already busy and have a packed schedule, because that's when you get the best price for your leads coming in. And I don't worry so much, Corey, about dollar per lead. Yes, it's decently important, but I'm more interested in the lead quality that I'm getting. Because if you give me 2 quality leads, I know I can book one of them at a premium price into my production schedule. So, don't spend too much time in the B leagues looking for cheap leads that you could convert. Generally, they are not recurring clients that, will beat you up on price. So that's just what I'd say to that. Let's do one more, Landon. This is great.
Love it. Second one. Maybe this is bias. DeShannon Lowe said at 1250, how do you know when it's time for you to get a business coach? Obviously super biased. DeShannon, I hope we speak. I have no idea who you are. This is not set up, but I think I would like to let maybe Jackson, AJ, and then maybe yourself, Dave.
Sure.
Like, you guys have coached hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Give us the sauce.
Let's hear from Jackson.
Man, it doesn't come from an economic standpoint. It doesn't come from the size of your business. Like, here's the only thing, and this is the truth. If you are ready to put in the work, because I cannot grow your business for you. I can give you all the information and knowledge and experience that I've learned over the last 8 years in my journey of growing my business to $1 million and beyond. But I can't grow your business for you. So if you're ready to make a commitment to growing the business and building systems and implementing and making changes and probably doing some stuff that's scary, growing a business is not like a comfortable feeling, right? You definitely have to go outside of your comfort zone, and it's a big commitment. If you are someone that can handle that and you are ready to make the commitment, then man, I'm ready to help you change your life, not just your business. And that's what David did for me when I joined the program. I knew very little, right? I was uneducated, no college, pretty pretty broke, to be honest. And this program completely changed the trajectory of my like entire life. Like straight up, honest answer, would not be in this. Like I own a house now.
Yeah, it's
like
amazing,
that wasn't
man.
about to happen before this program. And so yeah, man, just fully believe in it. But yeah, if do you think you're ready to grow your business? Are you ready to make a commitment? Then yes, you can be coached.
AJ, what you got?
I would just piggyback off what he said, man. We've coached like folks that have been under 80 grand a year in revenue, and some folks have entered the program, past 350. And I've seen the $80,000 guy, triple or 4x his business. And I've seen, the companies at 400,000 mark, put a bunch of revenue on theirs too. But like what Jackson said, man, it's just about coachability. And if like I was very serious about getting freedom, and I had my why kind of locked in, why I wanted to do coaching. And when I had that, I had that mindset coming into the coaching, and it was very easy to be coached. The hardest clients I have nothing to do with revenue. It has to do with like what Jackson's saying. Can you promise 5 hours a week to your working on your business? Can you stick to that calendar? Can you do things that are going to be uncomfortable for you? I don't think it ties into any revenue amount. It really ties into like how willing are you to grow and do some uncomfortable things. And on the other side of that is an amazing freedom and financial freedom for a lot of us. So it's a great thing, but you just got to be ready for it.
Totally, man. And like, guys, Jackson AJ paid $18K back in the day to work with me to build their own systems, just to get on Zoom with me and get some help. Like how we've made this what it is now is we're on like our 4th iteration now. So, you're getting a great piece of value here. One thing I will just wrap with and say, we're not going to try and sell everyone in, because we're very clear who's the right fit. And it's less of an age, location, service, revenue. It's more of a mindset where you're like, okay, I'm just tired of YouTube University. I spent 3 hours reading all the testimonials. I listened to all 226 podcast episodes. Like, I'm just ready to go. Like, just show me the path. So it's really not even a sales call. We're not going to sell you. We're just going to see if we can even help you. But I think our brand's built enough proof in the marketplace that for the right person, I've tried to make it my absolute best that we can still run a profitable business, and it's a no-brainer for someone who wants to get help. So that's what I'll say to that. But Jackson, I do want you to tell everyone, we are over time, so being respectful for everyone, brother. Tell us what you built, everyone here, man. This is going to reach hundreds and hundreds of owners around the globe, man. What the heck is this?
Yeah, so pretty awesome that you guys are actually able to access this. Man, the stuff that I've given away over the last 3 years to help you guys grow your business, it's great. It makes me feel really good, honestly, to be able to share this with you guys. I created this to present to our members at an in-person event that we do in Vancouver called The Summit. So I did an hour-long presentation. This is the PowerPoint slide I used, and it's very detailed, with information on how I'm going to run my marketing to do 1.2 million in revenue this year. And then, man, I talked to my managers today. I guess we're going from 1.5 as of this morning. So maybe we're making some adjustments to this, but the same idea is there. And you're going to see everything that I'm doing to raise brand awareness, top of funnel awareness, so that we can make our paid spend more effective and absolutely cash in on the market share that's available to us within our service area.
Heck yeah. Guys, I don't really know any free webinars. You literally get a QR code with $1 million marketing battle plan that wasn't just cooked up on AI, but is actually tried, tested, and true. So Coach Jackson's serving up the goods here. Guys, I just want to say from my perspective, CEO, founder here at HSBC, huge thank you. I do firmly believe that time is significantly more valuable than money. And the fact that you've donated an hour plus of your time and hung on with us really means the world to me. And I truly want to dominate this landscape where people want to scale their home service business, that HSBC is synonymous with that fact. So if you want to take action, program in the chat. If you want to just keep hanging around us, webinars, podcast, YouTube, we're going to be there for you because we want to build a lot of trust in the marketplace. And we've got some pretty big plans on disrupting this industry. And we say it every time, guys, and I'll leave you with this quote. You change your small business, you have the opportunity to change your life, as all coaches have done, as our members are currently doing. So you'll know when it time's right, when that pit's in your stomach. Reach out to us and hit us up. But I do wish everyone the best, whether you work with us or not. Absolutely kicking butt this year in your marketing department, because that's going to fuel your sales department and fuel your fulfillment department as well. So we will wrap there, everybody. Appreciate you all, and let's kick butt in 2025. And we'll hopefully do another webinar. So send us an email. Let us know in the chat if you're like, guys, give me the deets on the next one, because I'm going to be there. So from me, all our coaches officially signing out. Take care, everybody.